From the high-definition Educational Broadcast Center at Bergen Community College's main campus in Paramus, this is Studio Bergen. Hi everyone, I'm Larry Levanka, and welcome to Studio Bergen, your connection to the state's largest community college. This is our season finale, so we're tying a bow on the 2012-13 academic year today. Thanks for being with us. More than 700 graduates of the class of 2013 packed the Izod Center with their families, watching from the stands on May 16th to turn their tassels at Bergen Community College's 44th annual commencement exercises. In total, the class included 2,308 students, earning various associate degrees and certificates. The largest class ever featured 57 students that earned a 4.0 GPA, 68 members of Phi Theta Kappa, and 33 members of the Judith K. Wynn School of Honors. The top achieving student, Sunny Glottman, the class of 2013 valedictorian, tore down the house with her speech after she, well, tore it up.
I don't know how I'm going to say this, but this right here is my speech. Please observe. What are the roots that clutch? What will you take with you today? I hope it's the knowledge. I hope it's the strength of conviction. And I hope it's the remembrance of the value of an education, because in our society, day by day, we are devaluing education. I hope that 20 years from now, even though it's wonderful that we've had this history of freeholders and shares and trustees and money being poured into this school, I hope you hold this institution accountable and say, hey guys, I hope that this new generation gets the same education that I did.
The college's first-year president, Dr. B.K. Walter, served as the event's keynote speaker, using the opportunity to discuss the importance of building a foundation, as she has tried to do in her first 10 months here at the college. She closed by addressing the grads directly.
Because of you, Bergen Community College is truly one of the greatest community colleges in the nation. And today we are pleased to honor a group of students who has definitely made a difference and who I know, I'm very certain, is going to make a continued difference in the world that we live in. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Meanwhile, Telemundo correspondent Lori Montenegro also appeared at commencement, offering welcoming remarks. Montenegro has interviewed individuals such as President Barack Obama and numerous other high-profile guests. She sought to inspire the class of 2013.
Bergen has prepared you better than what you realize at this moment. Please be assured, you did not come to Bergen by coincidence or by chance. You are here for a reason. They have prepared you academically, but also they have prepared you as a person.
Other highlights from Commencement 2013 included guests such as Gene Walsh, a former Bergen County freeholder who served on the board at the time of the college's charter, and 8 members of the college's original graduating class from 1970. The college's Mr. BCC once again blogged live from behind the scenes at commencement and also announced the establishment of the college's official Instagram account. And finally, a live episode of this program broadcasted from the Izod Center 30 minutes prior to commencement. To watch, please visit the college's YouTube page. While commencement may be the biggest event of the year, its precursor, the academic awards ceremony, is a strong number 2. At the ceremony, the college honored the school's brightest stars, awarding certificates to those who earned 4.0s, participated in Phi Theta Kappa, the Judith K. Wynn School of Honors, or were named the top student for each individual academic program. Recently installed Academic Vice President Dr. Bill Mullaney said the event goes a long way in showing off the college's best and brightest.
If you look at the whole variety of awards we're going to be giving out tonight, the number of students who have managed after 2 years to maintain a 4.0, that's just a really, really admirable feat. We recognize the honor students, PTK. Each of these have a very high-level criteria that students have to meet to receive these awards. And it just is an exciting chance for community colleges to really show that, yes, our students can compete.
Of course, the year-end ceremonies do not end with academic awards. As many as a dozen other recognition events honored individuals such as those in the dental hygiene program, the nursing program, athletes, the EOF program, club leaders, and the tutoring center. Before any of the graduates made their way down the aisle at commencement, Bergen staff said good luck and goodbye to them at the annual graduation salute. The now yearly event gives graduates an opportunity to decorate their caps for commencement and settle any remaining outstanding issues, such as library holds or, yes, even parking tickets. Members of the college's alumni network and four-year college representatives attend to help Bergen students prepare for the next step of their educational journey. Meanwhile, as the current class of Bergen students bid adieu, students returning to the college next year had the opportunity to earn scholarships through the Bergen Community College Foundation. At the annual scholarship award ceremony, April 25th, dozens of students, including Brandon Rice, received scholarships. He wished he could thank his benefactor, Bud D'Alessandro, an endowed memorial scholarship donor.
I can't thank you enough. Words really can't express the gratitude that I feel. It's really life-changing. What you're doing is really, molding my future and really helping me, assisting me, and keeping me on the path to doing well in school. I come from a background where I didn't do well in high school. I barely graduated, so I came back here and I'm doing well, and this really, helps motivate me and inspire me to continue doing better.
With all of the news surrounding commencement, the following story has been buried. In any other month, it probably would have been our lead. Buoyed by a $1.3 billion state project approved by voters last fall and given the final go-ahead by the state in late April, the college will receive $15.8 million to construct a new facility for its Division of Health Professions. The building, slated for 3 stories and 23,000 square feet, will house all of the college's health professions, such as dental hygiene and nursing. These allied health programs remain some of the most popular and prominent at the school. The new facility will be constructed adjacent to the Pitkin Education Center, creating a quad. Construction is estimated to take approximately 18 months. Overseeing projects such as the construction of the new facility are 2 new board members, Mr. Todd C. Flora, Bergen County's interim executive superintendent of schools, and Margarita Valdez, who won an election to determine the school's alumni trustee. Before earning that position, Mr. Flora worked for the New Jersey Department of Education, including as a grants coordinator, regional program coordinator, and executive county school business administrator. Valdez, the outgoing Student Government Association president, championed projects such as the Help Bergen Heal campaign, a Hurricane Sandy relief project, during her time in office. Due to last year's student-run effort, the alumni trustee has voting rights on the college's governing panel. Speaking of the SGA, with the end of the school year came elections for the new executive board. In close races, students chose Alexis Bravo as president, Victoria Tahan as vice president, Elif Karaser as treasurer, and Kayla Williams as chief of staff. We'll have Alexis Bravo in studio later on. Good luck to the new executive board. Student accomplishments didn't end there last month either, as Bergen Bulldogs athletics made history in both track and field and tennis. The outdoor women's track and field team finished 5th at the NJCAA Division III National Championship at Howard University, but Shantura Douglas did something even more impressive. With her 45.19-meter javelin toss, she set a new national record. The previous record of 39.26 meters stood since 1999. For her efforts, she was named Field Athlete of the Meet and earned All-America honors in the javelin, 100-meter dash, and shot put. Over on the clay courts, the men's tennis team completed its season with multiple honors: a Region 19 title, the school's second in its more than 40-year history, a third-place finish in the national tournament, and 2 All-Americans, Dan Winters and Eric Saprio. Coming up after a short break, we'll have more news from the college and speak with the SGA president, Alexis Bravo, in studio. We'll be right back.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Studio Bergen. I'm Larry Levanka. We began a tradition last year in our season finale by featuring the members of the faculty inducted into the ranks of Professor Emeritus in the faculty-focused segment of this program. I'm happy to say we will continue that tradition by looking at the career of Counselor Jean Goldstein, the lone inductee for the Professor Emeritus class of 2013. Few professors achieve the rank of Professor Emeritus, an honor bestowed on only a few dozen in the college's history. Goldstein was honored at a May 10th luncheon at Seasons in Washington Township.
When I began my career at Bergen, I thought I would be spending my days with late adolescents, the 18, 19-year-olds, and I looked forward to teaching them how to be successful at college and in life. However, I soon learned that I would be spending my hours with men and women of all ages, and that I would come to learn as much from them as I would hopefully be able to give back to them. I also learned and grew as a person, if not in height, clearly, then in knowledge, through colleagues in all areas of the college who generously shared their expertise with me. I was so lucky to have been able to work with and to get to know such wonderful people from all departments and disciplines. I know a little bit about a lot of things today because of you.
Goldstein, who began at the college in 1970, worked as a counselor, guiding students through their studies and transfer to four-year schools. Dean of Student Support Services Jennifer Reyes said her legacy lives on.
I see her living in my counselors now. When Michael or Donna or Jean or Margaret talk about transfer, I hear her. Or when I have to do a transfer counseling appointment, what would Jean say? So that lives with me.
Fellow Professor Gary Porter talked about Goldstein's impact on students.
During those 40 years, she served as a counselor. And that word it's a small word, but it doesn't begin to describe her contributions at our institution.
Over 40 years at the college, Goldstein made many memories, and she enjoyed being a part of the Bergen community.
All in all, I really enjoyed doing what I did. I enjoyed meeting so many different kinds of people, students, faculty, colleagues from around the state and country. I had a ball at the NACADA conferences, which I was able to attend. I love being part of the give and take of the development of state transfer guidelines. And it was so much fun to challenge students to accomplish more than their grades indicated they should be able to, because I sensed they really had it in them. I would love to bait them and say, you know, you want to take more than one course? Fine with me. I'm still going to be here next semester, even if you're not. And it was fun to see those same students graduate with almost straight A's and move on and be successful. That was great.
Previous honors for Goldstein include the 1997 Counselor of the Year Award by the NJ Community College Counselors Association and 2010 Grand Marshal of the college's commencement exercises. Current Bergen professor Ellen Feig, who appeared as a guest on this program last season, spearheaded a unique event that only 20 other colleges in the world earned the distinction, a TEDx conference. On April 26th, dozens of speakers took to the Anna Maria Saccone Theater stage to discuss topics of their choosing. But there's a catch. They have 15 minutes to speak before they're given the hook. The fast-paced format encouraged a dynamic conference appreciated by the public and students alike. Featured guest, musician Gary Lucas, delighted those in attendance. The event is co-sponsored by the Center for Peace, Justice, and Reconciliation, the College Council, and Phi Theta Kappa. Also last month, Bergen faculty and staff gathered May 14th for the college's first ever Day of Community and Service, an event designed not only to bring employees closer together, but to foster a commitment to greater student success. All three Bergen locations were closed for the event, as speakers such as educational expert Clifton Talbert, author of 8 Habits of the Heart for Educators, Building Strong School Communities Through Timeless Values, shared their thoughts on Bergen, and Bergen employees sponsored morning and afternoon workshops. Faculty and staff who have served the college for 5 years or more were honored at an all-community luncheon. Event organizer Johanna Hewley of the College Council was pleased with the turnout.
I think this has been a very good day. I think the speakers have done a phenomenal job talking about building communities. Every speaker had a great sense of teaching us how to be a better Bergen team.
In this month's campus calendar, we look ahead to the rest of summer and fall. Summer registration continues for classes online at main campus and Meadowlands. Visit bergen.edu/summer 2013 for details. And fall 2013 classes begin September 3rd at the main campus in Paramus. To register, visit my.bergen.edu or in person at 400 Paramus Road. Welcome to our in-studio segment this month. As is the tradition for the last episode of the year, we welcome the SGA president, Alexis Bravo, to the set today. She's on the cover of The Torch, which is the college's student newspaper, so this is a big deal to have the president in studio. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you for having me here.
So congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
I know the turnout for this election was actually the highest in history for
Yes.
the SGA, so that's really exciting. So more students than ever before were involved in the process, so that's got to make you excited, right?
It is excited. We had over 1,000 votes, but that's still 7% of the student population. We hope to continue and have it grow more and more each year.
And I'm sure with your leadership, you'll do your best to try and make that happen. So let's talk about a little bit just about you. Where do you come from? What are you all about? How did you get to Bergen?
Well, I'm originally from Paterson, New Jersey. I am half Ecuadorian and half Puerto Rican. When I was 8 years old, I moved to Florida, and I lived there for the past 10 years of my life. I decided to come back to New Jersey to go to Bergen Community College in hopes of hopefully transferring one day to NYU, New York University Steinhardt School of Communications. I'm interested in broadcasting, in media, mass media, and at the beginning I didn't expect to go to a community college, but I came and I decided to make the best out of it, and I decided to get very involved. I was in 6 clubs. I was a senator for the student government, and through that involvement I came to love Bergen and I decided to run.
So talk about, you got involved with things on campus. What was kind of the catalyst for that? Why did you start with that?
Well, like I said, I was disappointed, like many other students at who come to Bergen because they're going to a community college. So before I actually became a full-time student, I did some research. I found some of the programs and some of the clubs that were available on campus, and I got in touch with those club leaders, and they let me know about the benefits of their club and what kinds of activities they do. So little by little, I started trying things out. I started to just join clubs that I seemed interested in, and through that, I became very involved with other clubs, and slowly but surely, I started gaining leadership positions in those clubs.
What clubs did you get involved with? What were some of the ones that really kind of stick out in your mind?
Well, the first was definitely the Torch, the student newspaper. I knew this whole time that I wanted to be involved in communications, so I decided a Torch was a great way to decide if journalism was something that I was passionate about.
And it's an award-winning paper. I mean, it's a really terrific community college newspaper, so it's a great place to start.
Yes, that was great. And through that, I got involved in Model United Nations. I became the secretary of Future Business Leaders of America, which is our business club. In student government, I became a senator, and then I was promoted as chair of the scholarship committee. And I was also involved in Student Activities Board, where I got a chance to coordinate with many other clubs to do some of the activities that happen in school on a daily basis.
What were some of the projects that you worked on with SGA in the past as a senator?
Well, as chair of the scholarship committee, we had originally had a goal of raising money to reestablish the student government scholarship. There was an SGA scholarship, however, the funds were never raised to give to students. So this past year, I had the opportunity to work with other senators to raise money by other students who took the time to donate any spare change they had. And fortunately, we were able to raise $2,800 to give away to 3 students. That was a great experience. I also had the opportunity to participate in the supermarket that we did during the Hurricane Sandy. We were able to raise many donations through clothing, food, any items that people who were affected needed, and we had a supermarket for 3 days, and we were able to have people come in and take whatever they needed and help in whatever way we could.
Your predecessor, Margarita Valdez, was very involved with that project. I worked with her some myself, but I mean, really to see that kind of effort was really inspiring to everybody at the college, to see students really run this effort to try and make a difference with Sandy. How did that make you feel? I mean, you talked about kind of what you did, but really, what did you feel in your heart from that?
Well, for starters, Margarita worked really hard on that project, and I think she was a very big example of a role model of the leaders, the kind of leaders that we have at Bergen, something that I continue to aspire to be. But the amount of club leaders, club members, everyday students who participated and who helped us do this was what really impacted me the most. The way that I saw that Bergen students wanted to help other people, to me, it showed what Bergen stood for, and that was another reason why I decided to run, because I see the passion that Bergen students have to help the community. So,
why? I guess that kind of dovetails into the next question. Why make the leap from a senator who, certainly does a lot of work? Why make the leap to president? Okay, not vice president, not treasurer, not secretary. It's the top job. Why go to that top job instead of another one that might be lower on the scale there?
I think I was very inspired by the way that the student leaders we have on this campus are so humble. Nothing that they do is, they say that they do it on their own. They do everything as a team, and they truly want to help other people, not for the title, not for the position, but simply to help. And they're very big role models to me. So I think that, I always wanted to be a leader of some sense, but through this past year, through getting to know the leaders that led me, it was something that really made me say, I want to do this. And if they were able to grow and become that sort of person, that's an experience that I want to have.
Talk about the process of running for, a leadership position, because I mean, it can get heated at times just because it is fellow students, and look, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, unfortunately. Talk about that and kind of how you, I guess, reconcile that with other students.
It's a very tough process, and you put yourself in a very vulnerable position. You have to sell yourself to 17,000 students, but as far as competition, I think that my competitor Pepe Romero and I, we were so great throughout the entire campaign process, and I think we realized before we even started campaigning that we were both great at the position, that we both have our strengths, and that whoever won, it would be based on what the students wanted, and whoever would win would be the best person for the position because it would be who the students would vote for. I think that it's the most important part of when I campaigned was to remain humble and to keep things balanced, because it was also a very tough time as far as school goes, preparing for finals. So I think just time management was important, and also remembering to keep the race clean and to respect all of your competition.
And you guys certainly did. I think all of you did a great job at that.
Thank you.
Talk about that moment when you find out, because it's a long drawn, for those watching at home, it's a kind of drawn out process. It goes on for about a week. You can vote for a week. That's got to kind of raise the blood pressure and the anxiety level. What was it like going through that week, but then finding out that you did win?
Well, the week, I had so much anxiety during the week, especially because senators of the student government have to stand in front of the voting booth and tell people to vote. Yeah, of course, we can't campaign, but we do have to encourage students to vote. So at the same time, I was hoping to win, but also I was keeping in mind that no matter who won, I really wanted to break that record, and I wanted to get students to vote and see how important it was. So that's what I tried to keep my focus. And
so you kind of had an eye on the greater good,
yes.
on the greater goal too.
Yes.
That's great.
And then the moment that the winners were announced, I felt so happy and blessed, and I started crying because I just felt really honored that the students chose me for such an important position, and that they really saw, what I saw in myself, and that they're giving me a chance to run as president. So I was very happy, and I'm very excited.
Kind of in that moment, though, the work begins, right? You start framing 2013, 2014. So let's go into that. What are your goals for the coming academic year?
Well, when I was campaigning, my 3 goals were to have more scholarships for international students, to have more activities for night and evening students, and to have more student programs that were created by other students. But I think ultimately the most important thing is to keep the student life at Bergen Community College active, whether that means by students, if we have to do it ourselves, if we can get support of faculty or administration. But I think that student life is a very important part of what defines Bergen Community College. And I think that there needs to be more, whether it be programs, activities, announcements, anything that has to be done to keep that going and to make students and their time here an easier process to go to wherever it is that they want to go.
What do you think some of the challenges are to kind of pulling those things off?
Well, I think that there's definitely a gap between what goes on during the day and what goes on during the night. It's half and half. There's the same amount of students who attend school during the day attended at night. So I think that we definitely need to gain a larger pool of people, whether it be night students, people who work, people who don't receive financial aid. And if we can have more diversity in that aspect so that we can have different perspectives on what kinds of programs to run at what time, and that way we can affect a greater variety of people. So that's one thing. And I think that there definitely has to be a space, such as the Student Center, where students can remain in touch with each other and where there can be a greater communication between the students. So hopefully the student government can, fix that gap and make it even better.
All lofty goals, and good luck in achieving them. I've really appreciated having you on the show, and again, good luck in September.
Thank you so much. Thank you
right.
for the opportunity.
That's all the time we have for this month and for season number 2 of Studio Bergen. Thank you to everyone who makes this program possible, chiefly the terrific group of people I work with to pull this program off every month. So Brian, Jim, Ted, Howard, Sean, Marianne, Pete, and everyone else who has worked with me on this program, thank you for always making the college and me look good on TV. Don't forget to visit the college's official Facebook page to tell us what you think about this program. I'm Larry Levanka. Thanks for watching. Help restore the shore this summer by taking a few trips down there and have a sausage at the Midway in Seaside. I'll see you in September. Take care.